Good evening and welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Amir. Here we are on day 202, and I'm continuing the story of Aladdin and the wondrous lamp. Now, remember, the African magician's brother had gone to seek revenge on his brother's death. He arrived in Persia. He found out where Aladdin lived and determined a plan with which he, would get back at Aladdin for having killed his brother. He donned himself in the clothes of Fatima, the holy woman, killed her, and then went off into the street, headed for Aladdin's palace. People were always trying to get close to Fatima because she had healing powers. And so the people began to follow her and ask her for her blessing. They asked her to touch her, to give them a blessing, a prayer. And the crowds gathered as she walked until there was such an uproar in the streets that the princess asked one of her servants to go and find out what was going on. When she went down to the street, she found Fatima just outside their palace. She went up and told the princess, and the princess, well, she had always wanted to meet Fatima, so she had her servant go down and ask Fatima in to the palace. The African magician's brother, of course, was delighted by this because this is what he had wanted to have happen. And he went in and, the princess and Fatima got on splendidly. After some time, the princess became ever more fond of Fatima. She asked what Fatima thought of the palace. Fatima said, it is incredible, except it is lacking one thing. If it had that one thing, it would certainly be a wonder of the world. Now the princess, on hearing this, of course, wanted to know what that one thing was that was needed in order to make the palace one of the wonders of the world. So she asked, what is that one thing, Fatima? Please tell me. Well, if you could in this room, the room of 24 windows, hang from its center the egg of a rock, then certainly it would be the wonder of the world. Well, the princess, on hearing this, wanted nothing more than for that to be the case. Now, she also asked Fatima if she would stay there in the palace with them and continually bless them with her holiness. And of course, Fatima wished for nothing more. The princess, however, was distraught over this missing piece for the palace to be complete in its splendor. Now, Aladdin, while all this was going on, had been off hunting. When he came back in the afternoon, he could see that his wife, the princess, was unhappy. And he asked her what was troubling her. The princess told him that Fatima, who was staying there in the palace with them, had told her that in order for the palace to be the most wonderful palace, a wonder of the world, that it needed but one more thing, which was to have hanging from the center in the room with the 24 windows, the egg of a rock. When Aladdin heard this, he said, do not worry. I will take care of this. If that is all it will take, I shall make sure that this happens. And we'll stop the story there. Find out if he's able to.